So, good afternoon, sir. This is my report section 41 to section 42. So, section 41, credit and service and sentence. So, the child in conflict with the law shall be credited in the service of his or her sentence with the full time spent in actual commitment and detention under this act. So, ang kasabutan is pwede makakreditan ang sentence sa isang bata if, for example, ang isang bata is nakasala sa dayon ang during sa trial, wala pa siya na kumbiktuhan sa iyang actual na sentence but naka-pre-sentence na siya sa rehabilitation center. Nalitan, naka-pre-sentence siya 3 months niya ang gipan sa court is 6 months yung sentence. Kato nga 3 months, pwede siya mag-credit sa iyang actual na sentence na. So, section 42, probation as alternative to imprisonment. The court may after it shall have convicted and sentenced a child in conflict with the law and upon the application of any time place the child probation in the lieu of service of his or her sentence taking into account the best interest of the child. So, ang pasabotan niya ng section 42 is instead na imprisonment ang ihatag sa isa ka juvenile, ang ikuan sa court is ang probation, which means nga pwede sila mabalik sa ilang kaugalingon nga balay or ma-rehabilitate sila. Then, for this purpose, Section 4 of the Presidential Decree number 968, otherwise known as the Probation Law of 1976, is hereby amended according. So, ang pasawat aning probation is amended to support this probation means the child allowed to stay in the community under certain condition or kanang pwede sila kanang kuan sila kanang sige sila katuon sa probation officer or magkuan sila mga 3 hours ba ng community service, then regular check-ins in probation officer mo na kailangan sila sige katuon sa probation officer, then following a curfew or participating and counseling community service. So means nga if ang isa ka juvenile mabalik sa ilang community, so means nga pwede taga-adlaw siya magkuhan ng community service or counseling na pwede katong iyang nasalaan is pwede na mawala.
So, good afternoon everyone. So, in the continuation of the report of Mr. Katok, I will be reporting the chapter 5, section 43, which is confidentiality of records and proceedings. So, all records and proceedings involving children in conflict with the law, from initial contact until final disposition of the case, shall be considered privileged and confidential. The public shall be excluded during the proceedings, and the record shall not be disclosed directly or indirectly to anyone by any of the parties or the participants in the proceedings for any purpose whatsoever, except to determine if the child in conflict with the law may have his her sentence suspended if he or she may be granted probation under the probation law, or to enforce the civil liability imposed in the criminal case. So in the first paragraph, it states that the cases of children in conflict with the law should not be disclosed in the public or any other authorities not handled in that one case. So the next paragraph. The component authorities shall undertake all measures to protect this confidentiality of proceedings, including non-disclosure of records to the media. So, one example, non-disclosure to the media, maintaining a separate police blotter for cases involving children in conflict with the law. So, kanina dapat ang sa children with the law, sa children in conflict with the law, din sa adult, separate ni siya nga cases. Dili na siya pwede nga ang bata, ang iyang kaso ay isagos sa adult. So, adapting a system of coding to conceal material information which will lead to the child's identity. So, muna siya nga i-conceal ang sa kaso sa bata. Records of a child is in conflict with the law shall not be used in subsequent proceeding for case involving the same offender as an adult. So, ang gikuan sa ang state is that if the child with conflict with the law, kung ang yang case ni paano siya ni tungtong na sa pang adult nga case kaso, ay ang kaso nga sa kwan pa siya sa bata pa siya is dili na pwede gamiton para sa sunod niyang kaso karon. So, except when the beneficial for the offender and upon his or written consent. So, if except of ni gamit ihatag sa consent na katong kaso ibalik sa iyang kwan. Then, a person who has been in conflict with the law as a child shall not be held under any provision of the law to be guilty of perjury or of concealment of or misinterpretation by reason of his or failure to acknowledge the case or recite any fact related thereto in response to any inquiry made to him. So, dito sa last paragraph of the section 43 is that kung ang bata kay gipungutanan nimo or state nimo sa iya kung unsa iyang kaso din wala siya ni istorya dili siya gusto nga i-istorya pa to yang kaso, so dili siya pwede kasuhan o perjury or concealment sa iyang kaso, which is mo niyang privilege nga pwede siya nga dili siya istorya or istorya ba siya dili. That's all.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, Title 5, 6. Rehabilitation and Reintegration. Section 44. The objective of rehabilitation and reintegration of children in conflict with the law is to provide them with intervention approaches and strategies that will enable them to improve their social functioning with the end goal of integration to their families and as productive members of their community. So, Section 4, goal nila diri is to help the kids who broke the law, mas better pa pagbalik nila sa community na mas dili na nila mabuhat ang ilang gibuhat before nga nakasala sila o gi-rehab sila. So ginatabangan ang mga bata nga nakasala to improve their selves na pagbalik nila sa pamilya nila o sa community is dili na nila mabuhat ang ilang ginabuhat. So Section 45. Court order required. No child shall be receiving any rehabilitation or training facility without a valid order issued by the court after a hearing for the purpose. The details of this order shall be immediately entered in a register exclusively for children in conflict with the law. No child shall be admitted in any facility where there is no such register. So, walay bata nga i-rehab kung walay papel nga gikan sa court or dili ang judge mo ingon nga i-rehab na siya. So kinahanglan na kung i-rehab ang bata is naa siya kanang papel issued by a court. So for example, ang naay ginikanan na nag-ingon na iparehab niya iyang anak kasi pangawat sa iyang baka, parehab na lang niya. So dili pwede nga i-rehab ang bata kay wala may issue sa court. So, kinahanglan na issue ordered by a court kay para marehab ang bata.
Good afternoon, everyone. Now, let's proceed to Section 46. Separate facilities from adults. In all rehabilitation or training facilities, it shall be mandatory that children shall be separated from adults unless they are members of the same family. Under no other circumstance shall a child in conflict with the law be placed in the same confinement as adults. So this rule or this section mandates that every children in conflict with the law shall be separated from the adult offenders. So why is that? So the purpose of this is to protect the children from the potential harm and negative influences that they might get from the adult offenders. Because children are more vulnerable to physical and psychological harm. So if they are put in the same facilities with the adult offenders, there is a possibility that they might be influenced by them. Like for example, they might be influenced by the bad behavior of the adult offenders like criminal mentality and violent aggression. Because children are more to model behavior. So they are more susceptible to social learning. So what they have seen might be adapted by them. So, except if they are put in the same facilities of the adult offenders that is related to them. So, it provides familiar support and connection. Now, the rehabilitation, training, or confinement area of children in conflict with the law shall provide a home environment where children in conflict with the law can be provided with quality counseling and treatment. So, that is why the children in conflict with the law shall be put in a good environment that provides support and aid into their rehabilitation. Now, let's proceed to Section 47, or female children. Female children in conflict with the law placed in an institution shall be given special attention as to their personal needs and problems. They shall be handled by female doctors correction officers, and social workers, and shall be accommodated separately from the male children in conflict with the law. So this section mandates the unique needs and vulnerabilities of the female children in conflict with the law, emphasizing the importance of providing them with unique care and safe environments. Because female children in conflict with the law may face different challenges compared to male, like issues related to gender-based violence, like sexual abuse and exploitation.
So the continuation of Penita's report, section 48 and section 49. So section 48, gender sensitivity training. So no personnel of rehabilitation and training facilities shall handle children in conflict with the law without having undergone gender sensitivity training. So wala ko na dapat personnel na mandol sa children in conflict with the law if wala sila naka-undergone ng training. So ang gender sensitivity training is the aims to increase awareness of gender issues, promote understanding of gender rules and stereotypes, and foster inclusive and respectful environments. So, ang personnel wala naka-undergone na ng training, dili dapat sila ma-handle children in conflict with the law. So, section 49, establishment of youth detention homes. So, the LGUs or local government unit shall set aside an amount to build youth detention homes as mandated by the Family Courts Act. So, ang Family Courts Act order sa LGUs nga dapat maghatag sila kwarta or maglaan sila kwarta para makabuhat sila youth detention homes. Youth detention homes may also be established by private and accredited by the DSWD in consultation with the DGWC. So ang private kuno ay pagbuhat sila youth detention home dapat approve sa DSWD o ilang i-consult sa Juvenile Justice and Welfare Counseling. So that's all, sir.
Section 50. Section 50. Care and maintenance of the child in conflict with the law. The expense for the care and maintenance of a child in conflict with the law under the institutional care shall be borne by his/her parents or those persons able to support him/her, provide that his/her cannot pay all part of said expenses, and municipality where the offense was committed shall pay 1/3 of said expenses or part thereof the province to which the municipality belongs shall be paid 1/3, and the remaining 1/3 shall be borne by the national government character. Cities shall be paid 2/3 of said expenses, and case a chartered city cannot pay said expenses, part of the internal revenue allotments applicable to the unpaid fortune shall be withheld applied to the settlement of said obligation, provide further that in events that the child in conflict with the law is not a resident of the municipality city where the offense was committed, that court upon its determination may require the city municipality where the child in conflict with the law resides to shoulder the cost. All city and provincial government must expert effort for the immediate establishment of the local detention homes for children in conflict with the law. You mentioned the responsibility of court. Criminal responsibility of the offense and the commitment of the child in conflict with the law are primarily the responsibility of the child parents or those legally liable to support the child. This means if the child is placed in the institutional care due to legal issue that the parents cover costs involved. In ability to pay, if the parents or guardian cannot afford to the pay of all part of the bills
2016, the municipality where the offense was committed will cover 1/3 of the expenses. The province to which the municipality belongs also 1/3. The remaining 1/3 will be funded by the national government.